sale or rent. Rooms to let 50 cents. No phone, no pool, no pets. Ain't got no cigarettes. But 2 hours of pushing broom buys a 8 by 12 4-bedroom. I'm a man of means by no means. King of the road.
What's the problem, officer?
Oh, it's construction and use checks, sir. Can I see your licence, insurance and registration documents, please?
Bit unusual, all this.
Yeah, well, it's in response to some complaints we've had about unsafe vehicles.
What's your axle capacity?
4 tons.
What have you got on the back?
Nothing much. Just taking a load of sheep over to Holland via Humberside. I'm on my way home now, travelling light.
Would you open it up, please?
Be my guests.
Yes, well, that all seems in order.
My pleasure.
Yay! Go on, Richard, run! Go through it again, go on! Hello, boy, hello! Hello! Yes! Good throw! Well done, you! Who's this, Mom?
I don't know. I wasn't expecting anybody.
Put it on! Ollie, here on!
It looks like he's playing finders keepers.
Hello.
Mrs. Beresford,
Yes.
Frank Carter. I was a business associate of your husband.
I'm sorry, have we met?
Oh, we have now.
Well, I'm sure Bob must have mentioned you.
Your grandchildren?
Yes. Well, after Bob died, the house was much too big for me, so they all moved in. Please, come on, come in.
He's asked if you've got any requests.
Yes, tell him to stop.
Well, he wants another drink.
Oh, not likely. Just tell him to drink up and go.
Why me?
It was your idea to liven things up.
I wanted a jukebox, if you remember. He was my second choice.
He's rubbish.
Ugh! Come here, boy. Good boy. Good boy. Where's the ball, sweetheart? Where's the ball? Come on, that's it, that's it. Good boy. Come on, you two. Ready?
Mum? Who was that?
Oh, just a friend of your father's. Is Alan at the yard?
Probably. Phoned earlier to say he docked.
Right. Well, you all have your tea without me.
Why don't you phone?
No. No, I need to see him.
What about tomorrow?
No, I don't think so, thanks. Just quit while you're winning, eh?
Who's that?
Our ex-pianist. Oscar's just sacked him.
Oh, Mr. Blaketon. This is Mr. Buksky.
Tomasz Bukowski.
Oh, that's right, yeah. And he's booked in.
Yes, David, I know. Welcome, Mr. Bukowski.
He's from Poland.
Really?
Yeah, and he's over here. He's looking for somebody that he met during the war, and I said that you'd probably help.
Did you now?
Mr. Blaketon is a proper private detective.
Oh, please, no, that is not what I want. I have come myself to find her.
Ah, it's a her, is it?
She was my friend.
An old flame.
Flame?
Girlfriend.
Oh, yes.
2 bald tyres, an out-of-date tax disc and an exhaust pipe tied up with a bit of string. Not much to show, is it, Mason?
No, Sergeant.
The traffic must have gone Weatherby and Younger's way.
Looks like it.
Did you caution anyone else other than these few?
I had a word with one or two, but you know farmers, they don't respond well to bureaucracy.
That's how you see these checks, is it?
If the complaints have been about overloaded stone lorries, shouldn't we be targeting the quarries instead of alienating the locals?
Yeah, there's something in that, Sergeant. This isn't making us flavour of the month.
This is not a popularity contest, Younger. It's about road safety. And as for targeting the quarries, forget it. If we don't show an even hand to all road users, the quarry owners will soon plead victimisation. Keep at it.
We met in Lincoln. She was a land girl, me a pilot. She was my first love.
Ah, and she lived here?
Not in the village, no, but somewhere in the area. And this was the last I hear from her.
Janet?
Janet Norris, you know her?
No, I'm afraid not. Right, the North York Moors is a very big place, Mr. Bucksky.
And this is all you got to go on?
Yes, and the singing. She told me she used to sing in the church choir.
What, here?
Possibly, I think.
Oh, well, we could ask around, couldn't we ask her?
You're very kind. I have no money to repay such help, but I could play the piano for you.
Really?
Yes, I hear your pianist has gone.
Well, yes, but we weren't actively looking for a replacement.
Who says?
I did.
It will be my pleasure, I assure you.
No, that's wonderful. Isn't it, Oscar?
Evelyn, what are you doing here?
Waiting. You talked early today. What kept you?
One or two things. Why do you ask?
Well, I'd like to know what's going on around here.
Why? Are you at a loose end?
No, not especially.
Then why not leave well alone? Enjoy your dividend and let me worry about this place.
I had a visitor today. A business associate of Bob's. Frank Carter. Do you know him?
Yeah.
There was something very unsettling about him. Almost threatening. He said he and Bob had an arrangement that he was anxious to continue.
Bob's not here, Evelyn. That's who you would do business with now.
Well, what exactly is his business?
I have had a long day. Why don't you just go home and stop meddling?
Meddling? Now, look, I am the majority shareholder in this firm, so when I ask a question, I expect to get an answer.
You really want to know, do you?
Yes.
Carter is a crook. So was Bob.
What do you mean?
Carter sells cigarettes and booze. A legitimate business, but with a profitable sideline, smuggling stuff in from abroad.
Smuggling? No, Bob would never have had anything to do with that.
No? Not even when it saved him from going bust.
So, how long was Bob doing this?
Till the day he died.
Does Jackie know?
No.
Does anyone else know?
Just us. Bob kept the keys to this wagon. Only the two of us were ever allowed to drive it.
Well, I'm sorry, Alan. I owe you an apology. Of course you must say no to this man.
I gave up a night in for this.
It's Chopin. Do you not like it?
Very nice in its place.
Yeah, where's that? The Chapel of Rest.
You having another?
No thanks. I'm going home to top myself.
Hey, we can't all go at once. It'll look rude.
Bye, Dawn. Oscar?
You're not off as well.
I'm sorry, Dawn.
Well, it's turning into a stampede.
You're not going to, are you, Joe?
Nope, I'm staying right here. Till the rain stops.
Just a few words of thanks on behalf of Ashbilley Children's Home for all of you for coming, and a special thank you to Evelyn. As a fundraiser for the home, I know how lucky I am to have the support she gives, as she does to so many other charities in the area. Yeah. Having had the experience of life in a children's home, this charity is very dear to me. In particular, the money raised helps fund the home's policy of keeping siblings together. The importance of this was brought home to me recently when I decided to search for my brother. Still can't quite believe it, even now.
Do the agency know where he is?
Australia.
Oh.
Yeah, I know, a big country.
But you're still going to try and find him.
Oh, yeah, of course.
So excited for you.
Thank you.
Oh, excuse me. Hello? Who? Frank? Right, just a moment, please. I'd better take this call upstairs, darling, OK? Could you put the phone down for me, please? Thank you. Excuse me.
I'm going to go now.
Oh,
Thank you very much.
Oh,
yeah.
no, it's been... Thank you for being...
I'm disappointed. I thought you had more clout.
My son-in-law doesn't need me to tell him right from wrong. He wants to wipe the slate clean, so please, don't call again.
Wipe the slate clean? Oh, I don't think so. It seems more like business as usual with me out of the deal.
What do you mean?
He's bringing stuff in and going to my customers direct. I can't let that happen.
Is that a threat? Are you threatening me? Hello?
Another foreigner?
Oh, no. Oh, that's a Kaola bear. It's a souvenir from Australia.
You've been there?
No, Rosie sent it to me. She's a friend of mine. She used to help Mr. Scripps out at the garage. In fact, she's written saying that she's coming back soon. For good, I hope. Right, here's the church.
Ah, thank you.
Right, I'll wait for you.
No, David.
It's no trouble. Well, I'd like to see if you can help out anyway.
I enjoyed so much.
enjoyed
You're really lovely.
Thank you, bye.
Take care. Bye. No, Evelyn?
She had to go out.
I wonder where she got to. Is everything all right?
I don't know.
What is it, Jackie?
Someone who knew my father came to see Mum. He seems to have really upset her.
How?
I'm not sure. I think that was him on the phone. I overheard part of the call. She sounded frightened.
Have you asked her about it?
Yes, but she fobbed me off, said it was nothing to do with me.
Well, if she's been threatened somehow, I could mention it to Joe Mason.
You let me think you've put a stop to it. Alan, I want you to stop this now.
Really? What will you be giving up? Your comfortable lifestyle, your shopping trips, your holidays, your grandchildren's private education?
Don't be ridiculous.
Where do you think it all comes from, Evelyn?
This place, of course, the company that Bob built.
Our day-to-day profits barely cover costs. Certainly not enough to keep you and the family in the style to which you become accustomed.
For pity's sake, what will that matter if you get caught? Because you're going to go to jail, so what's the family going to do then? If Carter has his way, we are all going to go under.
Tell me how. If he does anything and only incriminate himself, he's only got to you because he knows I won't crack. This is business, Evelyn. We've been taking all the risks. Now we can take all the profit.
He was very friendly, but of course he was not the vicar during the war.
Well, did he know who was?
Yes, but he died.
David, that's enough.
So you've got no further forward then?
A little, perhaps. The vicar said the choir master was still alive.
Oh, did he give you a name?
Wilfred Sedman.
An address?
Only the name.
David!
Well, what else am I going to play? Well, practice makes perfect.
Aye, and the rest of us crazy. Now cut it out. Sorry. Right, Wilfred Sedman. Well, I'll see what I can do.
What's up?
I was at Evelyn Beresford's today for a coffee morning. Her daughter Jackie told me she thinks her mum is receiving threats.
Oh?
She overheard what she took to be a threatening phone call.
Have you spoken to Mrs. Beresford about it?
Jackie doesn't want her mum to know she was eavesdropping.
Well, if Mrs. Beresford isn't worried enough to come and see me herself, it's hard to see how I can help.
A discreet word is all I'm asking.
Okay. Yeah, I'll see what I can do.
Okay, thanks.
Why the long face? He's brought in customers, hasn't he?
Oh, as fast as we're losing the regulars.
Yeah, well, if they can't appreciate it, it's their lookout.
Ooh, quite the connoisseur.
No, not at all. But a blast of Beethoven for half a pint of bitter and a packet of crisps. What more can you expect?
Aidensfield Arms. That was Wilfred Sedman. That's his address.
So, how long do you reckon it would take then? I mean, not to be as good as you, but, you know, just like, you know, good enough for sing-alongs and that.
That is very hard to say, David. When I was a boy, my father was my teacher. It is easy to learn parts when you are very small.
Yeah, I suppose so.
Is this it?
Oh, yes.
Dad! Dad, we've got visitors.
Come in. Come in.
No, no, please, do not get up. Tomasz Bukowski.
Mrs. Beresford?
Constable, is something wrong?
No, just a routine call.
Routine?
It won't take long.
Well, please come in.
Nana, we can't find Ollie.
Well, keep calling. He can't have gone far. Now, what can I do for you, Constable?
We are carrying out vehicle checks in the area. As Beresford's haulage is on my patch, I thought I'd call personally and tell you about our concerns.
I see.
We've had complaints about lorries with unsafe loads. I wouldn't expect that your closed wagons are involved, but we're making random checks on all vehicles. I expect your drivers may have said something.
No. No, but then, of course, I'm not at the yard that often. Perhaps you really ought to speak to my son-in-law.
Yes, of course.
Then again, I could speak to him myself. But you must be so busy.
Oh, yes.
Well, I'll make sure that he gets the message. And thank you so much for calling.
And if there's anything else that you need to talk to me about, you know where I am.
Nana, we found Ollie asleep. He won't wake up.
Here we are.
Oh, yes, it's some time since I looked at these. We used to have a choir photograph taken every harvest festival. Now then. Oh, yes, we had some very fine sopranos and contraltos round about that time. Of course, we lost one or two basses and baritones to the military establishment. But we soldiered on. There was no richness in the tone.
There, Janet.
Oh, yes. Oh, a very pretty face and a very, very nice voice, I seem to remember.
Well, that's how we met. Me at the piano, Janet singing like an angel.
Well, now let's see if she came back after the war.
Yes.
Oh, yes.
Do you know where she is now, Mr. Sedman?
What? Oh, good heavens, no. During my time as choir master, so many people came and went. It's a miracle I can remember that face. But now I come to think about it. Yes, I seem to recall that she was rather sweet on one of these young fellows. Caused a bit of rivalry. And of course it played havoc with the choir's cantabile.
Look, go back into the house with Mummy, okay?
How old was he?
About 6, I think.
In good health?
Apparently, yes.
Does the gardener keep chemicals in the shed?
Well, yes.
If you'd like to give me a sheet or a blanket, I'll cover him up.
Right, yes.
Well, I recognise him.
And the other two?
No, but that's Kenny Dobson. His mother cleaned here for a while.
And he still lives here?
No, I think he moved to Manchester, but I could ask his mother.
Oh, thank you.
Look, what if he was Janet's boyfriend? What if they were married? How would you feel about that?
To know that she is alive and happy is enough for me.
Mr. Blayton? Someone's gone and locked the piano.
Yes, David, it was the man from Music Lovers Anonymous.
Is he coming back?
Not before tonight. Oh, which reminds me, Thomas, about this evening. What you've been playing so far has been very nice. But how can I put it? This is not the Palm Court. This is a pub. And our regulars would like something a bit more lively. You know, do you understand? Something a bit more rousing.
I understand completely.
What were you doing there in the first place?
I'd been given information that Mrs. Beresford was being threatened.
She's made a complaint?
Her daughter.
Sorry, I'm not with you. Who was being threatened?
Evelyn Beresford.
But she said nothing to you?
No, but I could sense that something was wrong. I don't think the death of the dog was a coincidence.
What makes you say that?
Just a feeling.
Well, unless you have it in mind to perform a post-mortem on the dog, I suggest you find something a bit more pressing to do.
Can you manage on your own for a bit?
Why? Where are you going?
Down to the cellar. See if the rats have jumped ship.
Right, you two. I want you to get back into bed as quick as you can. Go on. I want you to be fast asleep when Mummy and Daddy get back.
Morning, sir.
Constable. Something wrong?
No, just a random vehicle check, sir. I'd like to see your registration, licence and insurance documents, please.
Well, yeah, I've got 2 out of the 3 here. The registration forms are in the office.
Company vehicle, is it?
Yes.
In the name of?
F. Carter Limited.
Your own firm?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. Well, it all seems in order.
What about the registration?
No need to bother. Sorry to have held you up.
If I had riches of silver and gold and all the money my pockets could hold, still I would trade them all for a moment of love.
You had seen it here.
Mrs. Beresford, how are you?
In one piece, but only just.
The doctor says you might be up to answering 1 or 2 questions.
Well, there's not really much to say.
Tell me what happened.
I'm not sure if I can. I remember driving along the road and then nothing else really until I woke up here. I've not been sleeping well and I took some tablets. And I think I was still feeling drowsy when I woke up this morning, and I think I must have dozed off at the wheel.
The marks on your car seem to indicate that you were in collision with another vehicle.
Really?
One that didn't stop.
Do you remember another vehicle, Mum?
No, not really. But it might come back to me, of course.
Hello, Evelyn. How are you?
How does it look?
Poor you.
Could you just ask the nurse to deal with these, dear?
I think Mum should sleep now.
Yes, of course.
And I'm sorry not to have been of more help.
Bye.
I want this stopped now.
You need to rest, Evelyn.
I think she knows exactly what happened and who caused it. That man who's been threatening her, Frank somebody.
So why isn't she saying?
I think she's too frightened.
Tinsdale? How do you spell that, Mr. Sedman? L-E. Thank you. Goodbye. Goodbye. The old choirmaster has found a photograph given to him on his 60th birthday by the choir. Everyone signed it.
What, Janet signed it?
Yes, and Joe Jessup, who he remembers as a farmer's son from Tinsdale. The choirmaster thinks he was Janet's boyfriend.
Oh, right.
Gerard Jarvis Jessamine Jessup.
J. Jessup, Lee Bank Farm, Tinsdale.
Is that close to here?
Well, it's on the road to Pickering, but I guess you could ask David to take you.
He has helped enough already. Is there a bus?
Back so soon?
Yeah, we were running out of paper.
What about you?
Traffic checks? No.
What, nothing?
I've been busy with this RTA.
What, the woman who ran into a ditch? Give it a rest. That's busy, mate.
Blown tyre, was it?
No. She reckons that she fell asleep at the wheel, but I'm not convinced. I think another vehicle was involved. Did you stop everything at the road check?
Everything except motorbikes. Why do you ask?
Well, if another vehicle was involved, you probably stopped it.
What time?
Between 9 and 9:30.
There's the list.
Okay, you stopped 2 cars, a lorry and a van during those times. F. Carter. F for Frank. Do you remember anything about this van?
You're joking.
Jeff?
Don't think so. Oh, yes, I do, yes. He was the boss. I do remember thinking that the van was a bit battered for the boss to be driving.
What can I do for you?
I believe you were stopped in a traffic check earlier today.
Yes.
A transit van, registration J00793.
Yeah, the officer said not to bother about the registration documents, but they're here if you want to see them.
I'm investigating another matter, actually. An accident that happened a mile or two up the road from the checkpoint. You don't know anything about that, do you?
Accident? No, I didn't see anything.
My colleague remembers your van as being a bit battered.
Ah, well, yes. Guilty as charged. See, my drivers aren't as careful with my vehicles as they are with their own.
What do they deliver?
Wholesale beer, spirits and tobacco to the retail trade.
That's a bomb-proof business, Mr. Carter.
Oh, I'm not complaining.
The van, would it be possible for me to take a look at it?
Oh, I was afraid you'd ask that.
And why is that?
Well, it's not here. Yeah, I sent it to the body shop for a respray.
That's unfortunate.
Yeah, I only booked it in yesterday.
Yesterday?
Well, it was a bad advert for us. You see, I don't normally drive the vans, but I thought I'd take it for a spin to see if it was worth spending the money. I'll give you the address of the body shop if you like.
In the chilly hours and minutes of uncertainty, I want to be in the warm heart of your love and mine, to feel you all around me and to take your hand along the sand. But I may as well try and catch the wind.
The van had been stripped.
Sanded down and undercoated. The body repairman gave me a rough idea of what damage had been covered up, but any evidence of a match with Mrs. Beresford's car is now gone.
If it was there.
Sarge, this started with menacing visits and phone calls, followed by the suspicious death of a family pet, now this accident. I'm sure that Carter's guilty of blackmail and intimidation.
You may well be, but you've got no proof. Mrs. Beresford said that she fell asleep at the wheel. Carter's van may well have been on the road at the relevant time, and it may well have been dented, but he'd booked it in for a respray before the accident happened.
Well, that all seems too much of a coincidence.
Well, I admire your persistence, lad, but until somebody makes a formal complaint, you've got no case to pursue.
Hello, Richard. Can we say hello?
What's his name?
Whatever you want to call him.
Richard? Richard! Has Richard come back from the shops yet?
No, not yet, Mummy.
So you saw her but you didn't speak to her? Why not?
It's difficult to say. I think about Janet so much. Dreamed one day I would meet her. But when I saw her...
She changed.
No. She was as beautiful as I can remember.
So what stopped you then?
She looked happy. I saw Janet and her husband so happy together. I said, what are you doing here, Tomas? You can only bring embarrassment to this place.
Well, I feel proper done.
I will pack my bag.
What, you leaving straight away? Well, who's going to play the piano for us?
One more night I will play for you.
Richard!
Yes?
Oh, hello, David.
Oh, I heard you just found her. Oh. Oh, are you going now?
Later, tonight.
Okay. It's just I wanted to show you a piano, but... I mean, it's not in perfect condition. I just thought it might do for me to, you know, practice on, but...
5 minutes, and I will come. Perhaps on the way we can return the photograph to Mr. Sedman?
Yeah, sure. Oh,
Still no sign?
No.
The shop assistant says he left there about 3/4 of an hour ago.
I phoned friends' houses where he might have gone.
He seems like a sensible lad for his age, Mrs. Page.
Yes, but after everything that's happened.
All right, first things first. Friends and family.
Checked.
Garden shed, tree house, places he liked to visit. What about your mother? Did he say he wanted to visit her in hospital?
Yes, but surely it's too far for him to go himself, isn't it?
It's worth checking. I know Carol's visiting her today. I'll ask her to keep an eye out for him.
I saw it in this barn years ago. Didn't think it'd still be here. You know? I said if I can take it, then I can have it for nothing. What do you think, eh? I mean, I know it needs a bit of work here and there.
Here and there, yes. Here, there, and everywhere.
Well, it's just, you know what, with Mr. Blaketon keeping the piano locked these days, I thought this would do the job. And I'm pretty sure that it sounds much better than it looks, so, well, go on, have a go.
I'm sorry, David.
It's all right, I know it's not you.
I mean, this is a bad idea.
What do you mean?
There is too much to repair.
Well, yeah, but I'm getting it for nothing.
And this is worse than nothing. Please, this piano is no good. It's useless.
Useless? Bit like me, I suppose.
No, that is not what I mean.
Well, all I wanted to do was to learn a couple of tunes, but it's always the flipping same. It's just, David, just stick to what you know. Well, I'm flipping had enough of it.
Any news?
No.
How long's he been gone?
About an hour. I'm sure something terrible's happened to him.
Carol will be with us any time now.
Just one car?
It's all we've got at the minute.
After everything that's happened to us?
We mustn't panic, love.
I'll direct him to start in the village and head towards Ashfordley. I'll take the Whitby direction.
I'll cover the place he goes to with his friends.
Mrs. Page, call the station if and when he should arrive back here. What's the description? 8 years old, light brown hair, blue jacket, grey trousers.
Name?
Richard Page. Start in the village and head north. We've nothing more to go on. You've got your instinct done, plus your eyes, ears and nose. Sure. Me Tonto, him Lassie. Well, Jeff, do me a favour. Try and get a hold of Carol at the hospital. I think the boy may be trying to visit his grandmother.
Does Mrs. Beresford know he's missing?
No, but I'd like Carol to tell her.
Well, is there any point worrying her at this stage?
I think there is. I think she may know where he's got to. She may just tell us the truth this time.
There must be some way out of here, said the joker to the thief. There's too much confusion, and this is not our fate. Businessmen, they drink my wine, plowmen dig my earth. None of them along the line know what any of it is worth.
He's here.
So I see. Hi, Richard. You okay?
He's fine, aren't you? Had an idea this is where he might be. I told him I had the promise of a puppy. Richard couldn't wait. Sorry to have caused so much bother.
As long as he's safe, Mr. Page, I'll go and tell Mrs. Beresford the good news.
Excuse me, Evelyn. Evelyn's in a state. What's going on, Joe? Are these incidents related?
I think so, and I think she knows why.
What's happening, Constable?
We're continuing with our inquiries.
But Well, why aren't you out there looking for him?
I thought you might be able to help us.
In what way?
I think you know where he might have gone.
Have you talked to Alan?
Yes, and now I'm talking to you. I believe that Richard has been abducted, and I think you know why.
Joe?
You have to tell us what you know, Mrs. Beresford.
Evelyn, are you all right to do this?
Frank Carter!
What about him?
He's the man behind the threats. He's the one who ran me off the road, and I'm sure that he's the one responsible for Richard's disappearance.
He's been blackmailing you.
He's a crook. He's a dealer in contraband, and he's the one who roped in my son-in-law and husband into his racket, and now he's holding the whole family to ransom.
Your firm has been smuggling goods.
Please, please don't go into this now. Just please, please find my grandson.
Evelyn, what have you said?
What you should have been saying all the time. You know that Carter's got Richard.
Richard's at home,
Home.
safe and well.
I don't know what mess Evelyn's found herself in, but she doesn't deserve it.
No,
Withholding the news about Richard was cruel.
maybe so, but I was getting nowhere. I had to do something before things got even more out of hand. Miller's been in touch with Customs and Excise. They're keen to have a word. I bet. We gonna hand him over? After we've thrown the book at him. Right, don't forget to lock up.
Where have you been?
Oh, I had to take Thomas to hospital. We had a bit of an accident.
No breaks, only bruises.
What happened?
Well, I'd slammed a piano lid on him. I didn't do it on purpose.
Well, should hope not, David.
I am sorry, Mr. Boykton. I cannot play for you this evening.
Oh, Thomas, I'm so sorry. I mean, that's a real shame. But never mind, I've got some good news for you. I've managed to locate an old friend of yours.
Friend? Of mine?
Yes. Waiting for you in the snug. Just go through.
Well, go on then, Thomas. Don't keep her waiting any longer.
Who's that then?
Janet Jessup, well, Janet Norris that was.
Yeah, Thomas got the wrong end of the stick. I found out that her husband died in an accident 10 years ago.
Well, who's the man that Thomas saw then?
Oh, it's just a farmhand.
Where are you going?
Oh, let's have a look.
Leave her alone.
It's only a peak, Oscar.
Well,
Oh, it's so lovely. It's the ending that I've pictured, well, by the bandages.
right, there we are.
What's that for?
Well, that's for you, David, on the house for services rendered.
Services rendered?
Aye, to me and to all our die-hard, cloth-eared regulars. May they all be left to slurp in silence.
Peter!
They don't think he's been kidnapped, do they?
He's only 7. Anything could have happened.
Now we want to find Peter as quickly as we can, which means we have to tell the absolute truth.
Mum and Dad will be cross.
A gossip, dear lady. That's what I need.
Get down, John!